My name is Rick.
Hi, Rick.
And you're Tony.
Yes, I am.
Awesome, Tony. So tell me, what's going on new with SoundToys?
Well, SoundToys, we've released our new plugin Superplate earlier this year. Let me
He's pulling up the Superplate.
Yes. And as you see, our new plugin Superplate is also available if you already own Effect Rack and then you buy Superplate. You can bring it into Effect Rack, which adds a reverb into our 14 other effects already. So Superplate is, if you're familiar with any of our plate reverbs, such as Little Plate, this expands Little Plate to a total of 5 different plates. So we've got a couple of different options here. On the left side, we call them plate styles. So we go from EMT 140, a gold foil 240 to Audicon, Echo Plate 3, Stocktronics. There's a lot of different styles. Okay. And there's also 3 different input modes, which are really cool. And the input modes change the saturation or can add a little bit of a compression using the middle mode. This is the solid state mode, this is the tube mode, and this is the clean mode. And all 3 can be used in conjunction with any of the 5 plates. So essentially you have a combination of saturation at the input stage going into the reverb, and then 5 different styles of plate reverb to choose from.
So that's really cool. So you could say go and grab a 140 and you could set up a solid state or a tube 140, which they made, both versions. But then you can go set up a 240 and you can set up a solid state, which they made, and a tube, which they didn't.
So exactly. So you can kind of
So I know the Echo Plate 3. That's the Jim Cunningham Echo Plate. What's the Audicon and the Stocktronics?
So the Audicon is a, I believe, plate that made by Lawson in the 70s. Okay. And it's very popular in Nashville, kind of like a warmer, brighter sound in compared to the 140. Like if you listen to Audicon, it's got more high-end. Dimension-wise, it is, I believe, not as big as the EMT 140s. Yeah, so just a different flavor. And then the Stocktronics RX4000 is a very sibilant plate, and it has a lot of that like hi-hat like emphasis.
So is the RX4000 a real plate that exists out there in the world?
Oh yeah.
So these are all 5 models.
We've flown them in, baby.
Yeah, oh well, I've seen your guys' gear collection online, and most people don't know this. Like people want to talk about people having gear or make believe having gear. No one has gear like SoundToys.
Oh, we have a whole warehouse.
Warehouse of gear. Most people don't even know that exists, but they've got one of everything, including David Bendeth's Publison.
Yeah. We had go through a bunch of options for plate options, and we decided these 5.
These are the ones.
Yeah, these are the ones.
Okay, and then over here, it seems like you've got the pretty standard stuff. You've got pre-delay, a little bit of modulation. So I'm assuming that these things...
So we have a tweak menu now.
I was about to say, can you change your modulation as far as how it actually goes?
So we can change the LFO, the rate from 0.2 hertz all the way up to 8 hertz on the modulation. So, and we also have a low-cut, high-cut filter with selectable dBs per octave slope, as well as 2-band EQ that you can use to tweak your reverb sound and shape them. And if you click on the band and hold down Control and drag, you can actually change the Q.
Oh, I know all about that because we make a plugin called MBEQ
lovely.
That you can do that with.
Exactly. So it's super easy to carve out the sound for whatever signal you're trying to work with.
No, this is really, really cool.
Yeah.
And
have you seen the auto decay feature? That's our new
I was about to ask about this. So, auto decay, it seems like you can set a target, and then, would that allow you to say, okay, I want it to be 1 second, but, I want it to be big and bold like this, and then it pretty much turns into a nonlinear reverb?
So think about it like having the dynamic of the music trigger how much decay you get. Right here, you can see the threshold is set, so every time the hi-hat and the clap is triggering a lot of the decay ducking, so it goes from 8 seconds down to the target I set, which is 1 second. Yeah. So if you want more reverb, you can kind of back off the target a little bit. If you want it super short. So what happens is now the transient information, all the transients get a shorter decay than the longer side of, or the quieter parts of the signal.
Well, that's very, very interesting. And, it seems like this is all threshold based right there, right?
Exactly, threshold, and you have your target, which determines how short you want the decay to be. And recovery just changes how fast or slow you want the needle to move back to the original position.
Understood.
Yeah.
So this is very, very cool. Are there any updates going on with Effect Rack itself for SoundToys 5?
So yeah, so SoundToys 5 with Effect Rack, we've updated the GUI, GUI, whatever you call it, to work with the high-res displays. It's all Apple new native silicon compatible and works super well, like right now on Ableton, low latency and all that. So yeah, you can kind of play with your own chain and create your own SoundToys profile that you can kind of like create your own presets, and there's a lot of presets, and we might come out with more preset pack later this year as well, along for Effect Rack. But yeah, so right now, Effect Rack, when you purchase it, you will get 14 effects, and then you can also, if you're like, oh, I love these, I want to buy more, upgrade to the bundle. You know, we have a great sale coming up for Black Friday, and we always have a 30-day demo for new customers who just want to try our product. So this is a great time to check out SoundToys plugin.
No, this is great, and I am a dedicated SoundToys user. I have everything.
Oh, lovely.
So I'm excited to go dig into Superplate.
Yes, thank you so much for coming.
Awesome, thank you so much.
Thank you.